Welcome back. You are still watching The Link right here on SABC1. Mzansi Fo Sho. Don't forget to interact with us on Twitter by hashtagging us, #The Link. Joining me in studio. It's not the first time I actually sit down and chop it up with him. He's a kid of the legend, can I say that?
It's okay, it's okay. It's all right.
Your dad is Mafokate, you know, and I know you get this very often. Welcome to the show, AJ.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, does that get boring sometimes? Like, okay, before I do an interview, well, in the beginning of an interview, we speak about my dad. Is it getting tiring, or are you like, oh, well, whatever?
It's become like a lifestyle now. You know, he's done so much work, and now, like, it's when people say it, I understand. I mean, he's worked very hard, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I'm honored to be right next to that. You know? So I'm not going to complain about it. No.
But have you ever like rocked up at a place and then hi, I'm AJ. Oh, my dad is Mafokate. Just once, no,
Ask
just
anybody.
just once.
Never.
Not even to get yourself out of a situation?
Well, okay.
No!
Traffic fines, you know, the cops stop you there on the side, and then you gotta say something.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's I won't lie. It's times like those when I won't use it, but I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm whoever from 999 Music, and I hope that they see, or like the nose they get, and then maybe I'll add something, and but I'll never say, hey, I'm officer. No.
Hey, you should not be getting traffic fines in the first place anyway. But going into DJing, why didn't you go the route of like singing, kwaito, or being a dancer?
Yeah, first of all, this voice was not gonna work.
But you have such a sexy voice, you know. I can imagine you calling you at night, you know.
No, thank you. My voice was not gonna work out for me. It's not there with my.
Okay, but why
but
DJ?
Besides that, I fell in love with house music from a very tender age. You know? My uncle was one of my main influences into music. Besides, my dad was influencing me into music, but my uncle was that person who put house in my head.
Was it hard for you, or was it easier for you because of your dad?
Here's the thing. Like I said, I don't ever get to, hey, put me on, I'm Arthur's son from 999 Music. No, I build a relationship like every other person, because like when I started out with DJing, a lot of people didn't know who my dad was. A lot of people didn't even know like that I'm associated with him. So I'd always go, hey dude, can I play? He gave you those sets where there is literally 2 people at the club, and that is literally the bouncer and the barman, and you have to play there, and you play. You know, you start small and then you prove yourself, and then you work your way up.
Let's talk about your single that you featured. What's his name? Sizwe, yes.
We sat in studio with my producer, Wash, and then we're like, let's work with this. And we worked around it, produced it, remixed it, worked for quite some time actually. And then after we remixed it, we're like, okay, out. And then released the song. Now
you have a fresh album out. Tell me more about it.
My new album, I love it so much. My new album is titled Mafokate. Featured a whole lot of vocalists, mostly upcoming people who aren't in the industry. There's 3 people, including Sizwe, that are actually like established in the industry. Sizwe from Too Fresh.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and then I did remixes of Chomi's songs, 2 of Chomi's songs. I did remixes there on my album.
Very nice.
House remixes, yeah. And then there's Bali, who's also a 999 artist, and she is also on my album.
Okay, now you know there's music, there's DJing, there's producing, and there's fashion. I follow you on Instagram, absolutely. You have the most amazing shots. How would you define your style?
My style? I'm basic, I'm casual, I'm like a typical.
But why are you not
DJ.
looking at me now?
I'm shy. That's what I do when I'm shy. So it's basically my fashion. I'm a typical house DJ. I've seen house DJs. Yeah. That's me.
Okay. Anything else that you're working on right now?
Oh yes, I'm on radio now.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Tell me more about that.
I'm doing a dance show called the Skull Candy Dance Nights on Saturdays.
He is on Instagram and Twitter.
At DJ AJ999.
Okay.
At DJ AJ999. Yeah.
DJ AJ999. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Doing big things. But right now, though, it's time for us to catch up with Tando Tabete.